Innova plastics. So especially for new players, when you're looking at all the different types of plastic that they use to manufacture the discs, it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially, again, for those newer players, finding what you like, thinking one's better than the other, not knowing the purpose of one disc versus another disc based on the plastic type, and also how it affects the flight characteristics of that disc. So the first plastic type I want to talk about is going to be the Innova Destroyer. So the Destroyer is going to be the quintessential Innova distance driver that is one of the most popular discs in the world, if not the most popular disc in the world. But you find that a lot of your top pros that you watch don't bag a DX plastic Destroyer. Now, the reason being DX plastic is not that durable. The plus side of that is that it's cheap, so it's inexpensive. So these are really good for newer players. As far as the flight characteristics are concerned, these will fly a lot less overstable and a lot less like the flight numbers than a typical Star or Champion Destroyer. So when you pick out a DX Destroyer, the first thing that you're gonna notice is that it's really stiff compared to pretty much any other plastic. These DX Destroyers are a bit soft in the middle bit here, and then really stiff on the edges. And then if you do find yourself hitting a tree or hitting a hard object, it will take chunks out of this disc and it will lose the stability that it has out of the box very quickly. So what I mean by stability is, if you're to throw this disc on a right-handed backhand on a hyzer, it's going to be a lot more likely to flip up and move to the right more than a Star or a Champion one. And as it continues to get those dings in it, it'll flip over to that right side even more and more and more until it eventually turns into a roller. These DX discs speed in very quickly. The plus side is that they're very cheap and accessible to new players. And if there's someone you want to get them a gift set who's never played disc golf before, these are a really good option because they do provide decent grip and they're really good discs to play with. And most people prefer their putters in these baseline plastics. They tend to stick to the chains better, they beat in faster, and they get a little bit glidier faster. Which moves us on to our next plastic. It's very similar to DX, but it's gonna be KC Pro plastic. And this is gonna be actually my main putter is a KC Pro AVR. So these putters, they're very stiff. They won't bend, they don't give at all. And for me, what this means for me as my putting putter is when this disc comes out of my hand, it's not gonna bend or flex at all, which is gonna help me get that consistent release and find the chains every time. So this disc is gonna be a little bit less likely to wobble early in the flight because it's got no flex in it. If you release it with good spin, it's just gonna go straight. It's not gonna wobble, it's not gonna do anything weird on you. The downside of these discs is I have broken some KC AVRs. I've actually broken 2 now, so especially when it's cold, these don't survive in the cold very well, especially when they really start to get broken in. All of a sudden one day you can hit a tree, or I broke one just hitting the band, and I had one of these just shatter into a million pieces. So again, they feel really good, they fly great, they beat in quickly, so they will develop as discs beat in. They tend to get a little bit glidier, and this goes for your putters as well. I've had a really good experience with these, and I will continue to putt with the KC Pro plastic for as long as I feel comfortable doing so. I don't foresee myself changing anytime soon. So KC Pro plastic, very stiff, again, very inexpensive, but it's like really stiff DX. So they make, to refer back to the DX plastic, they make those regular DX discs, like the Innova Rock is a very popular DX plastic to get that disc in. But they also have KC Pro Rocks, which is going to be the same mold but in a different plastic. That's just, I can't stress enough, like, don't be surprised when it's stiff as a board. It won't bend in any way whatsoever. And if it bends, it'll probably break. So as far as the baseline plastics go, that was all I wanted to cover in today's video. If you have any questions about any other baseline plastics, definitely leave in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer it. We're gonna move on to the Star/Pro plastic section. So I actually wanna go over EcoStar plastic. So EcoStar plastic is basically Star plastic that's made of recycled discs, and this is one of the old school ones, but if you're running a tournament and you still like the feel of EcoStar plastic, you can order those for your tournament off the Innova website. And I think rarely they still do runs of EcoStar discs. They're just a lot less common than they used to be. So EcoStar is cool because you know it's recycled out of other discs, and I think that's a really cool concept as far as disc golf's a very nature-friendly sport. I think it's cool to have recycled discs. I just think that's a really nice thing. Now, as far as the flight goes, EcoStar discs tend to be less stable than a normal Star disc. So right here we have an EcoStar T-Bird. I can throw this thing out on a hyzer and it'll actually turn all the way over and flip all the way over and actually finish to the right at the end of the flight. A normal Star T-Bird or a Champ T-Bird or any other T-Bird is, I mean, I can throw it pretty hard and flat and it'll just carry straight and then fade to the left at the end, again on that right-handed backhand. But if you find that those Star, Champ, or other plastic T-Birds are too stable for you and you don't want a DX T-Bird, if you can get your hands on an EcoStar T-Bird, they're actually gonna fly quite a bit less stable than a new Star T-Bird. The EcoStar will also beat in and break in a little bit faster than a Star or a Champion T-Bird. Now we're moving on to the Star Plastic. The Star Plastic is going to provide probably the best overall experience aside from your putters. Really, other than putters, most molds are typically the best in some version of Star Plastic, whether it be Splatter Star, EcoStar, Color Glow, or whatever the case may be. Your Star Plastic is going to get you really good grip, but it's also going to have really good durability. So it has the consistent grip of DX plastic, but the durability of Champion plastic. So Champion's going to be that next grade up in durability and also usually in stability flight-wise as well. So Star Plastic is going to be a lot more overstable out of the box typically, as long as you're purchasing the same mold. So a DX Wraith, this is a Star Wraith, the DX Wraith is going to be a lot less overstable than this, and then a Champion Wraith is typically going to be a lot more overstable than this one. So that's the benefit of having different plastics as well, is you can bag several different plastics in the same mold, so you get the same feel that you're used to, but you can shape different flights through using a disc that you know you're already comfortable with, which is something that I do. I bag 4 Wraiths currently in my bag. So the Star Plastic, again, very durable, very grippy, has sort of the best of both worlds. In my opinion, this is the most consistently good plastic, and most of the discs in my bag are either Glow, Color Glow, or Star. So that's gonna be the best, pretty much the best plastic. Again, not all my discs are this standard Star Plastic, but ultimately a lot of my discs are some version of Star Plastic. Now, the next plastic is a bit of a specialty plastic that you don't see quite as often. We're gonna come up to the camera a little bit closer so you guys can see. So this is Splatter Star plastic. Now what you can expect from Splatter Star plastic is that same look and feel of Star Plastic, but it has the nice little speckles in it. So again, one thing that's really cool about using specialty plastics like this is they look really nice. And I find that it's kind of silly, but mentally if you feel like you're throwing a really cool disc, it gives you just a little bit more confidence. And I know that sounds a bit silly, but like when I pull out a disc and I'm like, this disc is sick, like it's just a really cool disc, I'm gonna have a lot more confidence with it and I'm gonna enjoy throwing it that much more. And I think that goes saying for everybody. Like I think everybody would rather throw this cool Splatter Star T-Bird than just like a brown DX T-Bird that, you know, it's just like a blah disc. I think when you have discs like this in your bag, I think they're a lot more fun to throw. As far as that's just aesthetically, flight-wise, Splatter Star I find is just a touch grippier than normal Star, but has that same reliable durability and has very similar stability to Star Plastic. The most notable difference is actually going to be the little speckles in the plastic that give it that little bit of a pop and a more unique look than a lot of the other discs. And this is a specialty plastic that you'll see mostly when you show up to tournaments, the Players Pack discs. The TDs have the option of getting it in this plastic, and that's your opportunity to get discs with Splatter Star plastic more often than not. They don't do too much Splatter Star anymore. Moving on to the next plastic. This one's a little bit harder to get than even the Splatter Star. This is gonna be Swirled Star. So Swirled Star, instead of having the speckles, is gonna have that nice swirl to it. And notoriously, swirly discs are typically significantly more overstable than Star in my personal opinion. And this is the most overstable T-Bird I've ever had, and I've been throwing it for well over a year now. And this is a pretty serious workhorse disc in my bag. And yeah, I've aced with this thing, and this is a really good disc, and it's really overstable for a T-Bird. And you can just see how good the swirls are. And a lot of really good molds are still made in Swirled Star. They're done in usually limited runs. and Innova and Discmania do a lot of Swirled Star, but when they do come out with it, they usually sell off really quickly, especially the prettier looking ones, you know, ones that look like this. So Swirled Star, the flight and feel, it feels the same as Star, but flies significantly more stable in my personal experience. These sell really quickly when they do make the limited runs of them, and I wish I had more Swirled Star discs. I think they're really cool. I think they look really nice, and I really enjoy the extra stability and confidence that I get out of throwing discs like this. Again, Swirled Star, slightly more stable, good grip, good feel, good durability. A little bit harder to get your hands on, but if you can, I would recommend trying Swirled Star disc out if you can get one. The next plastic I would say is actually a grade down from Star. This is Pro Plastic. So Pro Plastic, this is a Pro Wraiths. This is one of the Wraiths in my bag. This is the most understable Wraith in my bag. The Pro Plastic is going to get you a little bit more grip than Star Plastic, but with that comes a little bit less durability. This is another plastic that's really good for newer players. If you feel like you're ready to move on from that DX plastic, but you like the DX grip, but you want to start transitioning to throwing more durable Star plastic discs, this is going to be somewhere right in between. So Pro Plastic is going to have a little bit more understable flight. Again, just to reiterate that, when thrown on that hyzer release, they're going to be more likely to flip and move over to the right on that right-handed backhand. So a brand new Pro Wraith is going to be less stable than a brand new Star Wraith unless you just get a special case scenario one. So again, Pro Plastic, it's somewhere between Star and DX, and it's going to have some of the better features of both and some of the worst features of both. But if you find yourself not loving Star, you'll probably really enjoy Pro Plastic because you get that same DX grip, but you're moving a step in the right direction as far as ultimately what's going to be the highest performing discs long term for your game. This is going to be that step in between. And again, if you already have a Star Wraith and it's very overstable for you, you can go pick yourself up a Pro Wraith, and you're going to have, instead of having to beat in a Star Wraith over time, you're going to have one that flies like a beat-in Star Wraith right out of the box, which is really attractive thing about Pro Plastic. So Pro Plastic, really good. I bag one. This is the only Pro Plastic disc that I bag currently, but I've bagged other ones in the past. Again, they beat in pretty quickly, so when I do bag one, they usually come out quickly unless they're a roller like this one. The next plastic is a specialty plastic. This is going to be Color Glow plastic. Color Glow plastic is notorious for being more stable as far as Innova goes, and in my opinion, Color Glow comes out of the box with more grip, and with that grip comes a little bit more confidence. I really enjoy Color Glow discs for the added grip, but then they also have the durability and the stability of Champion plastic. So this thing has been in my bag. I've thrown this disc more times than any other disc I've ever thrown in my entire life. This is my Color Glow Firebird, and I've been throwing this thing for ever since I started really playing disc golf in 2018, playing at a higher level. This has never left my bag. I've thrown it thousands of times. Without a doubt, I've thrown this disc thousands of times. I absolutely love this disc. I've hit 2 aces with it, and it really hasn't lost that much stability ever since it was brand new. This Color Glow plastic is so good. It's durable, it looks pretty, it's fantastic. All the way around, Color Glow plastic is probably one of the best plastics if you can get your hands on them. They do them in certain runs, certain Signature Series Pro Player runs. Philo Brathwaite has or had Color Glow Signature Destroyers. Nate Sexton has his Firebirds. Garrett Gerthy had Color Glow Rock Signature Series for a while. Typically you'll find the Pro Player Signature Series discs is going to be the best way to obtain Color Glow discs, and not only does it have all the benefits playing during the day, but these also glow in the dark as well. So if you have a setup or a glow box or some sort of way you like to play glow at night, you can take these discs right out of your day bag and play with them at night as well, which is really fun as well. I just started playing glow recently and it's been a great time. Color Glow plastic, really solid. Probably one of the highest grade plastics that are made by any manufacturer. So the last thing I want to cover is Champion type plastic. So Champion plastic is going to have the reputation of being a little bit more slippery, so you can't get quite as much grip on it, but it's gonna have a lot more durability and it's gonna be quite a bit more stable, brand new, as far as most molds are concerned. So this is my Sidewinder. It has a really cool die on it that my buddy Darren made me. I'm a big basketball fan, so he's dyed discs for a lot of the players in our club, and he dyed this Sidewinder for me. I absolutely love it. Champion plastic, a little bit more slippery, but has that really good durability. And alright guys, my camera died. We got 2 plastics to go. That was Champ plastic. Again, durable, a little bit more overstable, a little bit more slick, so not as much grip. But if you like the durability of the Champ plastic, and you like the idea of the Champ plastic, and you like the stability of the Champ plastic, if you get yourself some Champion Glow plastic, that'll get you some more grip. So Glow plastic from Innova is typically quite a bit more grippy than the other Champ plastic. So Glow Champion is going to have all the same benefits of Champ plastic, again, stability, durability, but if you get the Glow, then you'll have the grip of the Star plastic. So it feels a little bit more grippy like Star plastic and gets you that experience of the grip. I only throw this Glow Wraith. I'm not super keen on Champion Glow plastic, but I absolutely love the flight of this Champion Glow Wraith. This disc is absolutely amazing. Love this thing. I used to throw a Champion Glow Shrike as well. So Champion Glow is a pretty good type of plastic, but I much prefer Star plastic, but it is nice to be able to break out a driver that I know and I'm familiar with when I go play Glow. So Champion Glow, it's pretty good grip compared to Champ, but still not quite as good of grip as Star. But because I love the flight of this one so much, I bag it anyway, even though I don't absolutely love it compared to Star. But I don't have a Star Wraith that flies like this one, so I bag this one. And the last Champion plastic that I want to go over is Blizzard Champion. So Blizzard Champion discs are good for new players, players with slower arm speed, children, things like that. So we have a normal amount of plastic in here, and in the rim what they do is they actually put bubbles in the flight plate here. So this disc is 130 something grams, and the reason it's able to be that light is because it has air bubbles in the flight plate here. So if you look at the disc, you can see that it's mostly open space in there. So they pump this full of air so it can be a lighter weight disc. And again, if you have a really hard time getting your arm up to speed to get the flight characteristics out of a disc, if you go and get yourself a Blizzard Champion disc, a lot of these actually have good stability behind them. So if you don't like DX plastic but need the understability of DX plastic, then this can be a really good option for you, because it's going to get you that, it's going to allow you to get your arm up to speed, because this disc is going to be significantly less heavy than like even 160 gram or 150 gram disc. If you're finding that you're just not quite getting it with those lighter weight Champ and Star discs, this can still be a really good option for you. And also, if you want to break a distance world record, you just go out in the desert and toss one of these things up in the air and it'll go 1,000 feet because the wind just takes it. That's how they do the world record distance nowadays. So yeah, if you want to break the distance world record or you have really slow arm speed, Blizzard Champion is going to be a good option for you. Now, my final thoughts on Innova's lineup of plastics. I think they have such an expansive range of plastics that you're going to find something that not only you like the look of, the feel of, the stability of, the consistency of, but what I love more than anything is I can find one mold that I like, for example the Wraith, and I can carry it in 4 different plastics and I will get 4 different flights out of it. So then the Wraith can be my main distance driver. I have that same confident feel in my hand every time I step up to the tee-pad, and I can trust that my Pro Wraith will fly differently from my Star, and my Star different from my Champ, and my, my beat-in Star is gonna be different than my new Star. So again, I think that's the biggest advantage of having multiple different plastic types, because they do feel different, they do fly differently, but ultimately they have that exact same mold and that exact same feel in the hand. If you have any questions about some plastics that I didn't cover, or if you want me to do another brand's lineup of my favorite plastics or breaking down the plastic types, I have a bunch of discs in the garage. I can probably work out some videos for some other brands as well. Leave in the comment section down below what you want to see. If you want to check out some Iceberg TV merch, the link is in the description below. If you want to become a patron, the link is down there as well. Thank you for watching. This is Iceberg TV, and take care. Peace.